Hey, family. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on when you tune into this video. Welcome to Testimony Tuesday with Hanisha. Hey, y'all. Happy Friday. I know it's not Tuesday. It's been a minute. Life has been lifing, as always. And your girl has been extremely busy. But I wanted to come on here. It's a beautiful sunny day outside. And I just wanted to come on here and just speak with you if I could for a few minutes. There was something on my heart. I know the last time I came on here and did a video, I always pray before I come, before everyone and make these videos. And I always ask God, like, what is it that you would like for me to speak on for the next one? So I thought about, well, like I said, I prayed on it and something came to mind about raising the frequency and the vibration of your bloodline. Raising the frequency and the vibration and just the overall energy of your bloodline. So what does that mean? What the hell am I talking about? So again, I want to put my disclaimers out there. I am not an expert. I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a doctor of any sort. Life is the best teacher for me. And spiritually speaking, I believe that we all, when you tap into the Holy Spirit, we all are capable of receiving downloads or divine downloads when you learn how to quiet your mind and your spirit, learn how to sit still. You can receive those downloads because we're all, whether you're aware of it or not, we are all connected always to the Holy Spirit and the divine consciousness. So with that being said, what am I talking about? About raising the frequency and vibration of your bloodline. And so with that, what I mean by that is that you may have, for example, you may have some diseases that run in your family or some disorders that may run in your family. And for instance, diabetes. Okay. And again, I'm not trying to be insulting or offensive to anyone, but with research that has been done over the years and with the vibration and the frequency raising just with the collective as a whole, we are becoming more aware of more knowledge, more wisdom. And so with that, like let's say diabetes, you know that diabetes is controlled through your diet. Okay. So with you correcting some dietary behaviors and making some healthier lifestyles or incorporating some healthier lifestyles into your life, that could actually change the trajectory of that disorder. Okay. And so with that, like I said, I'm not a doctor or anything like that, but I'm going to use my mother for example. So when she was first diagnosed with diabetes, because I have diabetes or family members on both sides of my family, my mom and my dad, that have diabetes or that's been diagnosed with diabetes. And when my mother was first diagnosed with diabetes, she found out about a herbal tea. And I believe it was blueberry leaf tea or something like that. I will come back and I'll add it in the comments if you guys are curious about it. But it was a blueberry. I know it's like some type of blueberry herbal tea. And so, of course, when she first found out about it or was diagnosed, they immediately prescribed her some drugs or prescription drugs to help aid in helping her cope with having diabetes. Okay. And so she started to drink this tea. And lo and behold, her numbers went back down to normal. So she no longer at that period had diabetes. Okay. And so her doctors confirmed that. She went back, they ran their test and did checked her A1C and glucose levels. She did not have diabetes. This is a real story, true story. But mommy failed to make some dietary changes and she failed to make some healthier lifestyle changes. And so with that, her numbers went back up. And so what did that do? That put her right back into that diabetic state. So even with me, being honest with my health. So I was diagnosed with pre-diabetes, meaning I'm right right on the cusp of being a diabetic. So my kryptonite, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Now, I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do a whole lot of heavy partying too much. I try not to beat my vessel up too much. I know I could do a whole lot better by my body, but sugar is my kryptonite. Okay, so not even really candy so much, but sugary sweets like cookies, cake, ice cream. Ice cream is like a big thing for me. If I persist with the sugar, right? If I keep eating large amounts of sugar, okay, on a daily, weekly, whatever, right? What I'm going to do is push myself into a diabetic state. So if I turn that off, right? If I omit that sugar, and not even, let's just be fair, because I know sometimes people cannot go cold turkey. And depending on what it is in my life, I might be able to, or I may not be able to. Let me see. Okay, so I had a call that came through, so that's why I did that. But depending on, like I was saying, depending on what it is, I may be able to have that strong willpower and just totally omit whatever it is out of my lifestyle or out of my diet or whatever. But with the sugar, it's a little bit, just being honest, it's a little bit of a struggle for me. And so if I cut it out, let's say if I have sugar once a week instead of every day, or instead of like 5 days out of the week, I'm only doing it one. Okay, just to kind of wean myself off, or just taper off with all that sugar, right? So if I do that, then I could probably maintain that level and maybe even fall below that pre-diabetic state. Okay. But again, if I persist and I'm eating sugar every day, because in my family, when we had dinner, we also most often had dessert, right? So that was like a generational thing. I'm sure when my grandmothers on both sides, when they cooked dinner and prepared dinner for their families, they probably prepared a little dessert for the kids, right? I know sugar, it releases those endorphins and it makes you feel good. And so a little sugar, it tops it off. It completes the meal. And so that's just something that has been passed down from generation to generation. I remember having a conversation with my dad, and we were talking about certain diseases or disorders that ran in our family. And we both agreed that if you really think about it and unpack it, especially with diabetes and even certain cancers, right? It really is dietary. We have to be conscious about what we're putting in as well as what's coming out. So, you just have to take that responsibility. Or even like, and I know this is a touchy subject, but even with generational trauma. So let's say if you had an abuser in your family, right? It could be a female, male, uncle, aunt, grandma, whoever, right? Let's say if you were abused, and I know I experienced I was molested when I was younger. And so with that sometimes, and if you look at certain people, famous people that that are abusers, most times if you look back into and dig into their history or their past, they have experienced similar trauma. They have experienced, maybe they were raped, maybe they were molested. Now, again, I want to stop y'all before anybody attacks me. I'm not making excuses for any abusers, any pedophiles, any rapists. I'm not with any of that. Because like I say, I was a victim of molestation myself when I was a child. So I am not by any means condoning any sexual abuse or any type of abuse from anyone. And I'm not making excuses for abusers, okay? What I'm saying is that especially when you see that trauma and that it's a cycle and you see it. So let's say if I was, then maybe my daughter or maybe whoever, right? If you see that pattern in that family, then it's not really being addressed. A lot of times what we call it is sweeping it under the rug. Not really dealing with that, because not just dealing with the abuser, but the victim themselves may feel a sense of guilt, a sense of shame. They may feel dirty. Or they may just not want to share that with anybody. They may want to block it out and pretend that it never happened because it's so traumatic. But by doing so, you kind of, let me word this right. You kind of allow that thing to occur again, potentially. Okay. So that's what I mean I'm trying not to be so long with it. I'm trying to tie it all in and make it make sense. That's what I mean by raising the frequency and the vibration of your bloodline. Just because Uncle so-and-so was a pedophile or a rapist and he did this. So let's say one of your boy cousins did that too, because maybe that happened to him. When it happens to you, and I'm going to use myself as an example, because like I say, I don't want to be insulting or offensive to anyone. That is not my intentions to do so. But for me, that happened to me, right? I was molested. And so instead of in turn turning into a pedophile myself, because that can happen. But instead of doing that, I decided to go a different route in life. Meaning, and it's not to say that I'm better than or above or below. I made a conscious effort to heal that trauma, okay? And address it, heal it. And with it, when I say heal it, that is an ongoing process for me, because there's always triggers, right? Even going back to, like, not jumping all over the place, but going back into diseases and disorders in your family. Like I said, with sugar is my kryptonite. So if I'm at a social event or a family gathering, and there is a dessert table or there's some pie or cookies or something around, it's going to be a trigger for me, because that's my kryptonite, right? So I have to make conscious decisions, to do the opposite. And not just do the opposite, but do what's in the best interest of me. Do what's in the best interest of my spirit man. Do what's in the best interest of my overall well-being and my health. And with me doing that, that creates a ripple effect, and that trickles down. So if my daughter, or let's say nieces and nephews, are looking at me and they see me implementing these healthier lifestyle changes, then I'm not going to say that they're going to follow in the same footsteps as me, but that may spark or inspire them in some type of way to make some healthier changes in their life, or to implement and incorporate some healthier lifestyle changes. So that's what I mean by raising the frequency and the vibration of your bloodline. You do not have to create, you do not have to, what's the word? I'm at a loss for words. You do not have to repeat the same cycle over and over again. And like, even with drug abuse, just because you're seeing your mom on drugs, you can choose to do the opposite. And that may even inspire your loved one to make some healthier changes within themselves. And so that's what I really mean by that. Raising the frequency and the vibration of your bloodline, dismantling and breaking down all those generational, as we say, curses. That's a mindset too. We got to dismantle and get rid of that too, because what you think, so it is. You breathe life into that. Your thoughts do. And so we have to get rid of that negative thought process. But in doing so, there also, even with your mind, you changing your thought process, there is action that needs to be taken behind that. So make a conscious effort to be the best version of you, to show up in healthy ways for you. And when you're able to do that, you can show up in healthy ways for other people and your loved ones and just everyone who you have an encounter with. And again, I'm not saying I'm not perfect. Y'all know I make a ton of disclaimers on these videos. I'm really just trying to do my part in this world by spreading a little positivity if I can. And that's not me being fake or wearing a mask. I have a phone book full of flaws, as hubby say. There's a lot of things that I need to work on. I posted a video not too long ago about my weight loss journey. That has been up and down. I have worked out consistently and I have took a break from it consistently. So that's something that is a constant work in progress for me. And I have to consciously make an effort to do the work. It's not easy. So I don't want to create this false facade that my life is easy and I'm telling you, oh, you just need to do this. And it's simple. It's not. It's not. A lot of things that I speak on takes a lot of hard work. It takes a lot of effort. It takes you moving out of your comfort zone and moving away from the norm, what you're used to, and stepping outside of that, doing something different. They always say you have to be the change that you want to see in this world. So it starts with you. It starts within. Even us talking about being happy or happiness. A lot of times, and I think I spoke on that before too, we look outside of ourselves and often look to other people to make us happy. And that's just not the case. That's something that I had to unlearn and learn the proper way, that happiness comes from here. It comes from within. No one can truly make me happy. Now, can they add to my situation, or can they add a little bit more positivity to my life and a little bit more sunshine? Potentially, yes. Okay. If they're in a healed space, or if they're consciously working on themselves to be a better version of themselves, then yes, we can add to each other as long as we're consciously doing the work. But true happiness comes from within. And so just because, you have certain diseases or disorders in your family does not mean that you're going to be stricken with that. Just because you have sexual abuse or trauma in your family does not mean that cycle needs to continue. The change can start with you. You can stop it. You can stop it, and you can change the trajectory. Well, I can't say that word. I love it though. The trajectory of your life and of your bloodline. And then in turn, if you do have offspring and you do have, generations behind you, you can pass that down to them, so we can continue to uplift and raise the frequency of your bloodline, because I don't care if you come from humble beginnings. I don't care if you come from a wealthy family. We all, in all of our families, and I'm gonna say just the human family as a whole and on a collective level, we all have some type of dysfunction, some type of trauma, some type of, like I say, dysfunctional cycle. And so we have to, like I say, you have to be the change that you want to see in the world, or just in your immediate circle, And just in your life, you have to be that change. So it starts with you. So today, if you can, think about that. Let it sit for a while, process it, take as much time as you need to. But just think about that. Whether you agree with everything that I said today or not, take some time to digest that and think about it. Look at your family tree, look at you. Take a look at you. What are some things that you know that you can change? What are some healthier habits that you know that you can incorporate into your life to raise your vibration or make your life a little bit better? We're not perfect, okay? We're going to continuously be a work in progress. And when I say we, I'm a part of that. Because I'm definitely a work in progress, like every day, all day. But just think about it. Like I say, digest it, chew on it, digest it, let it sit for a while, and see what you come up with. So with that being said, I'm gonna leave that here. I'm gonna go ahead and wet my whistle a little bit because my mouth is dry. And I was actually thinking about pulling my bike out today and taking a ride just around the block, okay? Because I'm gonna be honest, my ass ain't been on no bike in a very long time. A very long time. I'm in my 40s. I probably haven't been on a mountain bike, or whatever you want to call it, 10 speed, whatever. I have not been on a bike in probably over 20 years or so. So, wish me luck. Send some prayers up for your girl. I hope I don't injure myself out here because Lord knows I got enough aches and pains in my body. Stuff that I'm trying to work on with my herbs. And like I say, trying to incorporate some healthier lifestyle changes within my life. And riding the bike is one, because I do remember enjoying riding a bike when I was younger. So I'm going to see how I go. And then I remember a while back I started going skating too, because that's good cardio too. And good exercise for your overall body, especially your lower body, right? But my ass fell. And ever since I fell, my ass ain't been back. So, but I don't want to get discouraged. I'm not trying to teach. I'm not a quitter. And I do not want to spread that to you. So just because you fall, you get your ass back up and you try it again. And so I'm going to take my ass back to the skating rink at some point. I keep y'all posted on that. But I am planning to go back to the skating rink and, give it a whirl. Give it a try again. See what happens. So y'all pray for your girl on that too. Please. But again, just trying to spread some positivity. So, hey, maybe y'all can join me. Maybe we can have like a little challenge or something like that. And not necessarily a challenge, but just like a support group. And we could try new things or try some, like I say, I haven't rode a bike in years. Maybe it's something that you haven't done in years, but you enjoy it and it is healthy and you want to try to do it again or incorporate that into your life now. So let's do it. As always, don't be shy. Drop some comments below. Let's keep the conversation going. I would love to have and continue to have that open dialogue with you. If there's anything positive you just want to share with our community here, please post your comments below, and we can keep it going. And then also, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Testimony Tuesday with Hanisha. If you have already done so, I thank you and I appreciate you sending out much love. And I'm just overall sending out much love to everybody that tunes in to Testimony Tuesday with Hanisha. So with that being said, I don't know where you are. Hopefully it's a sunny day and the sun is shining where you are. I hope and pray you are enjoying your morning, your afternoon, or your evening, depending on where you are. And I hope and pray that you have a blessed and beautiful weekend ahead. And I look forward to coming back on here and posting again on Testimony Tuesday with Hanisha. So with that being said, I love you guys and I'll see you soon. Peace.